always been really interested in sort of the adoption of technology to help enable and better the lives of other people, and so that's why I'm able to do that as a speaker and as well as still being involved with technology. It's been pretty cool.
Tell me about the time when you rappelled off that 20-story building. Where did you learn how to do that, and how did you feel when you accomplished it?
Well, what I learned is that you don't have to learn how to rappel off a 20-story building. If you really want to do it, they'll do it. There was some training that was involved in terms of being able to prep yourself for this, but what I was doing it for was to raise money for children with disabilities to go to summer camp. And so I thought it would be a little bit more thought-provoking for other people on the ground to see somebody in a wheelchair doing it, sort of a literal sense of pushing past boundaries, pushing past limits. And so it was great. We were able to raise over $5,000 last year, and I'm doing it again this year with a goal of $20,000.
You also have an adaptive gaming background. Can you tell me how you started and
Sure.
What were your challenges? How did you get into it?
So I used to work at a fairly large video game company here in Vancouver, and after I had my time there, I went on pursuing websites that were out there that had to do with persons with disabilities and accessibility. And I came up short. There wasn't a lot until I found one, and that's called the Able Gamers Foundation, ablegamers.com. And through them, I became a staff writer where I was able to write about video games from the perspective of accessibility and sort of rehabilitation standpoint. And that's where I really gained the perspectives that I wasn't getting at this bigger game company. I was able to see things from a different light, that even as a quality assurance tester, I really wasn't getting in to break games from the aspect of somebody who had a disability or motor impairments or had color blindness. So that really gave me the perspectives that I couldn't have gained anywhere else.
When did you realize that you wanted to become a motivational speaker, and what has that enabled you to do?
Well, being a speaker has always been in my blood. For my whole life, everyone's told me that this is what I need to be doing. It was either this or politics, so I chose this. For me, I've always loved speaking, and I've always loved using my heart and my passion to deliver a message. And so after I left the video game industry, it was a no-brainer. It was an unfortunate incident. I did get laid off from the industry due to lack of work, and that was an epiphany moment for me. I had to really come to the conclusion that I got to be doing what I love to be doing. You should never ever go to work and feel like you're actually working. You should feel like you love what you do. And so by me being able to go out there and speak to audiences and do what I love, I'm able to get the best of both worlds by not only expressing myself, but helping other people along the way.
Can you tell us a little more about why you think it's important to share information or resources, and where do you currently find your information and resources when you need
Well, in today's age, we're so lucky with social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It's a plethora of all this information piled into one. But sometimes, as you understand, it can be hard to sift through all of that noise. And so for me, I find that being able to use email and be able to connect with people on a daily basis is extremely important. So prior to this, I was doing a lot of my communications with face-to-face meetings, chats, these types of things. But I really think that with Enable Life, you're going to be able to actually have a resource where people can go to one place, cut through all the confusion, cut through all the noise, and get down to the facts of what they really need to know. And that's getting to the resources that they and their family need now.
Where did you learn to be independent, and you feel you're more productive now that you've fully adapted to being used to
being in a wheelchair? Yeah, my whole life I've had my disability my entire life, and so my parents, it was really sort of it was up to them. They could have babied me this entire time and said, let's just spoon feed him with everything that we possibly can. But my parents were very accommodating in terms of making sure that they helped me when they knew that I needed help, but if they knew that I really just needed to push myself a little bit extra, they would make sure that they just watch me and be observers and just see me try and fail, because there really is no such thing as a failure, because you always learn something from those moments. And so I think that's where I really gained it from. Is my parents are strong-willed. My dad was an immigrant from Italy. And, he really wanted to make a better life for himself. So, of course, having a son with a disability, it only came second nature to say, all right, well, this can be seen as a temporary roadblock, but what can we do to help him? Well, the best thing that we can do is try to help him very, very little and see what he does to find his way along the path of life.